Okay, everyone. My name is Matthew Four, and I am 24 years old, and this is my first video log. Um, I am in San Francisco. Um, I am doing this completely just off the cuff. Um, I have not thought of a specific structure or plan for what I'm going to say. Other than that, I'm going to talk about my day. But this being my first video log, I'm also going to have to provide you with some context. So this is possibly going to be a slightly longer video log than normal. And I'm also going to explain why I'm starting this video log now. Okay, so to start off, um, why am I starting this video log now? Actually, that's where I'm going to start. So I have actually been thinking about doing this for a long time already. How long? I would say, like, well, see, I was just living in Japan, in a coastal town on the west side of the main island of Japan. The main island of Japan is called Honshu, and that is the island that Tokyo is on. So I was on that same island, but I was on the side facing China. Actually, it's the closest city to South Korea, and it is called Niigata. You would spell it Niigata in English. So I was living there for a year, and so I was kind of thinking, like, I sort of felt like I should be doing something like this, like a video log. I wasn't really thinking like on exactly the same terms as what I'm thinking now, which is basically at the end of every day, just record me talking to you, the viewers, about my day. That's my idea now. I didn't have such a clearly defined idea when I was in Japan, but I was like, oh man, I should be like, sharing with the world about my time in Japan. The reason I didn't is I'll tell you why. When I was in Japan, my life was honestly mostly work and studying Japanese. Honestly, like a good 80 to 90%. Okay, so like there was always cool things that I could have talked about, but I was also really busy, and I just felt like it I didn't have the correct sort of lifestyle to match with some sort of format that I was really eager about at that time, if that makes any sort of sense. Okay, so I got back from Japan in August, and then I visited family and relatives on the East Coast, and then I moved to LA. I was there for 3.5 months. That's maybe another story for another time. I'm not going to go into it in this video log, at least. I came to San Francisco 2 months ago. My 24th birthday, incidentally, is on 4/20, the stoner holiday. Um, Great day to have a birthday, I'll tell you. And so, so now it's technically Friday, April 28th. It's 12:45 a.m. So let's just say my birthday was a week ago. So I am 24 years old and 1 week. That's my age right now. So yeah, so I've been in San Francisco since November 22nd. Wait, no, February 22nd. Yeah, February to March, April. Sorry, wrong. I moved to LA on November 2nd. I was in San Francisco on February 22nd. So I've been in the Bay Area now 2 months and 5 days. Okay, so I recently did a Facebook post. My Facebook is facebook.com/Matt484. Facebook.com/MATT484. That's my Facebook. Um, if you want to add me on Facebook, send me a message saying I saw your video log. And then I'll accept your request. Okay. So my post was, since I moved to the Bay Area, I have started a blog, created a meetup group, and become the co-organizer of a marketing consultancy. So that time span has been 2 months and 5 days. So th- those sorts of things, and also I have been studying data science because I was thinking about becoming a data scientist. Originally, when I came to San Francisco, I just had the idea of getting into tech. I wasn't too sure on like details or specifics. Uh, I knew I was interested in artificial intelligence. I knew I wanted to do something related to artificial intelligence. My in college, what I was doing was, my major was biochem and cell bio, but like I did neuroscience research and I took neuroscience classes. Like really, like it was more, I was more neuro than bio. So basically, my background is neuro. And then I did a little bit of computational neuroscience as well. Um, oh, by the way, that's also like a story about like how did I end up getting into computational neuroscience? Because I myself never thought that I would ever do something like that. Um, but so I came to the Bay Area. I started going to networking events and meeting like other scientists and entrepreneurs and stuff. And I also had thought about doing something entrepreneurial. I was more thinking about getting a job first, and then like saving up money and like then pursuing a startup. But now basically, I'm doing things a little bit differently than that. Well, I am studying data science, so that could be working towards getting a job in data science. But literally, like yesterday, I also decided to take an idea for a product, turn it into a company, basically do a startup. Not software, actually, just like a physical product. But like, I think it has high potential for success. And I can explain why I think that. But so yesterday, I was really thinking like, oh snap, I have this like big decision I need to make between like science and entrepreneurship, and those are the only two things I could see myself doing. But I was thinking that I was like, I needed to choose. Today, I was like, nah, I'm gonna do both. And one reason is because I drove 20 hours for Uber this week already, made like $515. So if I keep doing that consistently, that's like $2,200 a month. I've actually gotten myself to the point where my minimum expenses are $1,200. And I may or may not explain that in today's video log, but I'm gonna drink some water. One sec. Okay. So, um, why this video log? I mean, oh my god, I my life is crazy. Dude, I got so many stories and I don't want to lose them. You know what I'm saying? Like, um, I I um I think maybe other people might like to hear my stories, and I also want to make sure that I can save them for posterity. Maybe they'll bring some happiness into other people's lives. Maybe you can draw some sort of knowledge or inspiration from them, possibly. So those are like, and so like, all right. So why is it like right on this night that I'm doing this video log? Well, I have a great reason for that. It's because recently a bunch of pieces of my life have been coming together to get me on really feeling like I'm in the right place in the right time doing the right sort of things. It's a great feeling. Um, and so I've just been like just fucking doing things that I had previously like only thought about doing. And I think previously it was because like my environment wasn't right, circumstances weren't right, I had obstacles in my way, and now I feel like um, I can see clearly now. Um, the rain is gone. Yeah, that song. Right? It's a good song. But so I one enabling factor that I have now is the realization that like I could just do this video log in my car. Like what I kept having like staying in like families' homes, and like I didn't want to disturb them with my noise, because like I need to do these video logs at the end of the day. That's the only time I can do them. That makes sense. Um, but at the same time, I also didn't want them to hear like what I was saying, you know. Um, so I kind of like that was like something in my way, but also like something psychological was in my way. I'm like, oh, I don't know how to do it, or like I'm worried that, you know, my life's not going to be interesting enough or whatever. And so actually this is a really interesting confluence right now of realizing that in order to make my life interesting, like I just have to do it. So I'm going to try to do that now. And of course, at the same time I was making that sort of decision about like just doing things, doing this video log is also in the category of doing things. So like it all just is just coming together. And yeah, another enabling factor that I have now is I it's so amazing. I've freed myself from the limiting factors of needing to fuel one's body nutritionally. I'll show you. You might be familiar with this, some of you. It is a Soylent powdered food, 100% daily nutrition, um, plant-based, neutral flavor profile. Sorry, I've never positioned this thing. It's not that easy. Formula V1.8. So, what does it taste like? It tastes like soy. Yeah, it's like milky. It's tiny, tiny bit sweet. Yeah, it's not neutral, but it's pretty close to neutral, and it's not bad. You won't love it, I don't think, but it's not bad. It's definitely palatable. So all I need is so for all my food intake requirements, all I need is three things. I need this bag with some powder. Oh shit! Someone just got on my keyboard, guys. This is a real life video log, and like real life things happen, and like I just got powder on my keyboard. That was totally not planned. I swear to God, this is the most unscripted shit. But I'm worried because it's really fine powder. What the hell? I guess I didn't close the bag all the way. I'm worried because it's really fine powder, and that's like the worst thing for keyboards probably. Other than like vomit, which has acid. That would fucking suck if someone vomited on your fucking keyboard. Guys, I curse. Like, if you got a problem, then fuck off. Okay, cool. Sorry, but yeah. But really. But anyway. So yeah. Oh, sorry. So where was I? So right. So the powder. I need this bag with some powder, and I just need a water bottle with some water. Right. Just those three things. I just pour some powder into the water bottle and shake it up, and that. So you want to make sure that you do 1/5 of the bag each time, but just do that. You can just, if you have an empty water bottle, you can pour the powder in first, and like this bottle has measurements on it, so you just measure the amount of powder. Just figure out beforehand how much powder goes to like 1/5 of the bag. Like I bought like a gram scale. It was like you figure that out once, and then you're good to go. You just fill it up to that same level on the water bottle, like right about like this much. And then you can put water in after that, shake it up. That's a meal. Like it's literally 1/5 of every single of your nutritionally and food intake related requirements for a day. It says that it's not meant to be every meal, but it can be any meal. And I don't know. I learn well from mistakes, so in a couple months I might have some issues, but I'm gonna just do this. Um, and so that's another enabling factor. It's basically freed up the time needed to prepare food, um, or to go and buy food, um, which is really significant if you add it all up and think about it. And also, it's really healthy. Um, and it's also really cheap, so it's saving me a lot of money. Month's supply worth of this stuff. So basically, enough for all of your nutritional needs for a whole month is about $200. Okay, so you could just spend $200 on food for the whole month and be really healthy and really convenient. Um, but anyway, so yeah, there's some enabling factors in my life right now that are allowing me to do this vlog. And that being said, I think that that was probably a somewhat sufficient sort of preface or introduction. And so now I'm going to launch into today. So today, let's see. Oh yeah, I slept in a little bit more than normal. Woke up at 9. Um, and I knew that I wanted to play pickup soccer because pickup soccer, there's only, I looked at all of the meetups, all of the pickup soccer meetups in San Francisco. By the way, I'm talking about actual meetups on meetups.com. It's the best website for if you're looking for like events thrown by just like any sort of person in your area. You can like um, filter it by your interests and by like distances from certain locations. Like if you don't know meetup.com, just go to meetup.com. Just check it out. Anyway, so I looked at all of the soccer meetups and meetup.com, and surprisingly, almost all of them charge like $10 a game. And like I'm trying to like minimize my expenses as much as possible. So I've made sure to find the free ones, and actually there's only 3 per week, while there's like dozens and dozens of paid ones. It's crazy. So I'm like, all right, well, at least that makes it easy. I don't have to like really worry about the decision. Okay, cool. So it's Tuesdays and Thursdays at noon, and then there's like another one on Sunday. So like I wanted to make sure to play soccer today. Like I'm I'm doing a video log, so I'm gonna be honest about stuff in my life. I'm not promising that I'm gonna tell like every single thing. There might be some things that I don't say, but I won't lie. I like guarantee like that's totally I would never do that in the context of a video log. I wouldn't lie. So just take my word. There will be no lies in this video log. Not intentional ones, not from me. I might who knows, maybe I'll be talking about something that someone else says and I'll think that what they said was true, but they were actually lying and I didn't know. Whatever, I just think too much. I think too much. But anyway, what I'm saying is not saying something is different from lying. So anyway, I will not lie. Everything in this video log will be 100% true, and I swear, I promise, I'm so serious about that. Okay? And I'm serious about saying that I'm serious about that. So, no lies. Sorry, I just wanted to make that very clear because it's just the first video log. So I'm like, oh, let's establish a precedent. Okay. Moving on. So, right. So I made that decision yesterday to make the transition to the car. So today I had a very important task to do of creating a minimal living set. And basically, I have a first aid kit. I have a bag with just a minimal amount of clothes. Just like one pair of pants, a bunch of underwear and socks, belts, just some shirts, basic stuff. Um, and my backpack. And the backpack I also have optimized the contents of the backpack. I need my Soylent powder. I need my food. I need a water bottle filled up with water. I have a folder with papers. I got pens, pencils. I got a bag of toiletries. All the toiletries I need. Uh, I don't got them with me right now, but it's just like one plastic bag. I got a poncho. That's super important. That's super important. I recommend you guys always bring a poncho with you. It's just so small, you can do it so easily. And I got my laptop and my laptop charger, my phone charger. I got weed and stuff to smoke with. I got like if there's any other food, I got like so for example granola bars, apples. I got some like headphones, business cards. Like it's a mobile office, and it's honestly with everything in the backpack, it's totally manageable. I have I purposely got a backpack that like the base of it is like more than a foot. So like it can basically be like a bag and just hold much more than a normal backpack. Um and so I made my minimal set of things today, and it's really exciting, and I have decided to make the transition to sleeping in my car before the period in which I've paid rent in my current Airbnb ends, which is May 17th. So even though I've paid for the room until May 17th, I'm actually going to transition to sleeping in my car now because it's like this is like Soylent was one missing piece to my more ideal lifestyle, and then the realization that it would be better to sleep in my car was another piece to my missing lifestyle. So like I said, right now I'm just in a real awesome mode of just making things happen. And so that's another thing that I was like, no, I'm not gonna wait. If I think that this is going to help me and be better, good for me, like I'm just gonna make it happen. I'm just gonna. It doesn't matter that I've already paid for the Airbnb. It doesn't matter that I can't get my money back. I already asked the owner of the Airbnb, can I get my money back? And I was very diplomatic about it, and he was also very polite about it. He was like, "It's illegal because we don't have permission to allow Airbnb guests to stay here for less than 30 days, so it would be illegal for us to give you your money back." I'm like, "No worries," but I asked him just to see, and so I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna let that stop me. Like, I'm not losing any money by switching to the car now. I'm paying my car payments and my insurance anyway, whatever." So I was dealing with that. Went to the soccer game, and uh, at the end of the soccer game, there was a guy with a longboard. And so another thing that I have decided to make happen, and I'm not sure if I'm going to remember all of the things that I decided to make happen, um, or mention them in this video, but I'm touching on some really key ones. Um, so is starting this company, which is it's going to be my first company that I'm starting. Although I sort of started a company when I was like 15. Yeah, 15. Um, in my neighborhood where I just helped neighbors do things. And but like I made flyers and I like I sort of had to like manage things like make appointments and maybe like put some money down like for some tools that I need or something like that. I just like maintain relationships with clients. Communicate about uh, expected pay, negotiate higher pay. Like, oh man, I started. But anyway, so that was when I was 15, and so I sort of started a company before, but this time it's gonna be bigger. This time it's I don't know. I'm in San Francisco. It's like the startup scene. So I guess I could just call it a startup. But really, I sort of just want to call it a company because but you know what? It actually could scale, really. And so, what is the definition of a startup? This is something that I didn't know really in before I came to the Bay Area, and then I like was like, oh, I need to find out. So, a startup, the real definition of a startup, what differentiates it from a company? Well, according to my research, my conclusion is that what really differentiates a startup from any other company is its ability to scale, its potential to scale very rapidly. Okay, so startups is how you make big bucks quick, is what that translates to. Um, and so, like, I think that my idea actually is a startup, so we can actually call it a startup. So, what the idea is yeah. So, um, interesting point here. Do I like share my idea because somebody else could steal it? Actually, I haven't looked into um, I haven't looked into provisional patents yet. Um, and how easy it is to get that, and how that might affect this situation. So actually, I'm so sorry. I really would love to tell you guys what my idea is, but maybe I'll do it tomorrow. I'll make it a priority to look it up tomorrow about like how all this IP stuff works. So I'm sorry I can't tell you the idea. Um, but so never mind about the guy with the whatever. But so anyway, then I wanted to get my car washed because I drive for Uber. Um, and so I put in car wash, and the first one I came to, like, it wasn't a machine one. The guys were just like doing it with hoses. And I'd never done it that way before, and I was thinking it would take longer. And there was a line. So I put in like for another car wash, and long story short, like there was this really weird intersection, and like I sort of it was too late for me to do anything about it, and it forced me onto the highway, which sucked because what should have just been 2 minutes away if I had taken a different route turned into 22 minutes away, and there's no way I could change that. So, like, at first I was like, fuck, 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 fuck. And I was super frustrated. Um, but so, I was like, okay, instead of like hating life, let me see like how I can make something good of this. And so then I remembered that this woman that I have been in contact with via email about setting up a time to talk on the phone sent me an email yesterday asking me to text her this morning, and I had not texted her this morning. I was like, dropping the ball, Matt, but let me be forward and direct and call her, and if she's upset that I called her because all she said to do was text her, I could say I wanted to call you to apologize for not texting you, right? So I called her, and so um I have holder from the phone. The phone goes in that, hooks up into the speaker system, and so her voice is coming through the speaker system, totally hands free. And I just turn up the volume really loud, have the windows up. I was just inching forward very slowly on the highway. So actually, it was like I used the time on the highway to talk to her. So who is her? Um, her is a woman that is the partner of a guy that stayed in my mom's Airbnb back in Naptown. Hey, Naptown, yo. So that's where and so this is my mom was like, "Oh, it's something about like Singapore schools, and like I told you about them, and like you should talk to her." That's kind of how my mom talks. And so I was like, "Yeah, okay." So like I send her an email. I'm not gonna reveal real names, so let's just say her name is Ellen. So I sent an email to Ellen saying, "Hey, something about my mom having met your partner, and like, something about, you're doing something related to my interests, and here's my resume. And I sent her just like my general resume, and she gets back to me and she's like, oh, like, I'm out of the country, like let's touch base again soon, whatever. And then like, uh a long time went by, and we just weren't in contact. And so, remember how I started just making things happen recently? So this is another thing that I was kind of just made happen recently. I emailed her and I said, like, without even mentioning at all that there was a delay, I was just like, I just reaffirmed what I said before, which is my availability. And so she got back to me, and told me, yeah, to text her today. So I called her, and I talked to her, and basically, she works for a chain of private schools, or she has, I think it's hers. She has a chain of private schools all across Asia: Burma, Korea, China, Singapore, um, which is associated with a private British university, and most of their students are international. But and these are pretty big schools. They're K through 12. Like, each school has like maybe 1,500, 2,000. So this is a big thing, right? And they're trying to create tech hubs, like physical space inside of the school or very close to the school, where the students can go and learn about the most uh, like um, breakthrough, most current things in science and tech and like the economy, mostly in science and tech. So basically, to like help them prepare for a future where the jobs that are available maybe are things that like don't exist now, and get them, more into, because the future is all about like computers and digitization and software and all of that. And so it's to prepare these kids for that future. And so they need to develop a curriculum for these spaces. So I got all of that information from her, and then I told her like various things from my background, like definitely touching on things that had been on my resume, but also definitely things that had not been in there, and also very importantly, telling her about the things that I really want to do and the things that I'm actually really passionate about. And so also, this is something that has happened for me very recently. I just really wanted to blow that powder off my keyboard. Hold on one sec. Okay, cool. That worked really well. So, oh, what the hell? Like, it just got darker. What? What? Oh, it's because my computer screen got darker. But we're totally fine. I'm at 70% charge. And what's more, I have an adapter that converts my 120-volt car battery into a DC-AC three-prong outlet, which I can use to connect my laptop via my MacBook charger. So I can actually charge my laptop from my car. But I'm at 70%. But anyway, that was a sidetrack. But so where was I? Oh, right, about this school thing. Okay, so the thing that I recently decided that no, I've so okay. Here's the story. I'm just gonna tell the story. I was taken. I was an Uber passenger, like last night, and the driver had rap music on, and so I was listening to the lyrics. And don't get me wrong, like, I love rap. I listen to rap all the time. I listen to all different types of rap. I listen to jazz rap. I listen to gangster rap. I listen to Brazilian rap, Japanese rap, um, party rap, trap. I love rap. Okay, I listen to all types of rap. Um, and so I was listening to this type of rap, and I I like it. I swear. But I was listening to the lyrics, and and this is not something that is not unusual. But I was just thinking about the implications of them in a way that was just really clear to me at the time. So basically, the lyrics were about, all about it was basically the rappers seemed to live the lifestyle of gangsters, and they seemed to be rapping about their lifestyle and sort of bragging about the things that they do in a gangster lifestyle, like sell drugs and shoot people and stuff. Um, so honestly, like I'm not um like things are the way that they are, so you know I might feel a certain way about certain things, but I also accept that there is a reason why they are that way. Okay, so I was thinking about how like there are kids that I was thinking no, okay, I was thinking about how that song really embodied a certain culture, and that that has the implications that is an entire culture, and the rap is only one facet of the culture, and that if it embodies the values of that culture, that means that it embodies the values of that culture, so you I'm sorry, but that's what it means. And so it's not just a song, and there are people that respect that lifestyle and that attitude and emulate it. And if you're brought up in that culture, it's you will have no choice but to you look there are I think that it is probably true that unfortunately there are some communities where um the only it seems like the only people in the community that have sort of outmatched their peers in the area of monetary success are gangsters and drug dealers. So that means that an ambitious youngling in that community, if he wants to outmatch his peers uh, in monetary ways, the only guidance that is available to him is from gangsters and drug dealers. And there's other kids that their parents are doctors and lawyers and engineers and investors and venture capitalists and stockbrokers and serial entrepreneurs um, and scientists and pilots and all sorts of very very lucrative professions that are beneficial to society and are not illegal. So if you have those sort of parents, your role models or those sort of role models are right there, and they're going to actively, impart strategies for achieving that sort of career, achieving that type of lifestyle, right, into their kids. And so it's just um is so unequal based on birth, and of course everybody knows that, but things are the way that they are, but that doesn't mean that they can't change. And actually, by understanding why things are the way that they are, you can much more effectively create strategies and solutions to change them. So uh I really feel like actually understanding, a really great way of understanding issues is through music, because music, like I said, embodies cultural values. And what's more important than understanding the cultural values, Um, and so How are we going to solve this? I think that many groups are already doing this sort of thing, like going into those communities and like getting good role models to go into those communities and connect with the kids and give them a different example of, and give them guidance and give them, yeah, guidance. That honestly, that's the, yeah, guidance. Um, and I need to look more into what type of groups are doing this kind of thing, because that is what I'm passionate about. Like, correcting these sorts of imbalances and just, looking forward, moving forward to, a better future. And like, yeah, race is an issue, race is involved. And see, I know that there is institutional racism that makes it more difficult for like African American people to get into like certain careers, such as like stockbrokers or lawyers or things like that, whatever. Um, but the thing is that like there are many different ways of making money, right? And so like, essentially you just have to provide value to the economic system somehow. And so like there's many ways of doing that without having to deal with established institutions, like starting your own company, or like learning coding and just doing like remote freelancing online jobs, like, yeah, you may have to be creative, you may have to think outside the box, but like if a African American like created like a data science company, and then like went into like African American communities and like, you know, gave kids that were willing to take a chance to study data science like $50,000 a year, because he's started his data science company and he's rich as shit, and so these like he goes into these communities and like he announces it to everybody, and everybody, let's say a community of like I don't know, like 10,000 people, and he announces it and like everybody in the community knows about it. So maybe he gets like 1,000 applicants, no, 1,000 takers, and he starts paying all of them. Um, and but he's gonna stop paying them if they're not showing demonstrated progress. And then, like by the end of it, only 100 have passed. But guess what? Like those 100, they're skilled data scientists now. He's gonna hire them into his company, and like this is going to be like an entirely African American run enterprise. Like once one person starts new and different, and so you can like sort of just over, you can just sidestep establishment, right? um so I would like to maybe see if that is somewhat of a novel message for people in certain communities um that don't usually send a lot of people into legal lucrative careers, very financially. So look, we live in a capitalist system, right? People want to make money. Making money is not necessarily a good or a bad thing, in my opinion. Like how you spend it maybe can be a good or a bad thing, but like, you know um a lot of, this is a big topic, but I'll just say like a lot of bad things go on in the world because of capitalism. But I mean, it does create a lot of wealth, and that does enable science and technology, which does do a lot of really really good stuff for us. We might all be wiped out from this planet somewhat soon, um, kind of due to technology. But like, I don't know, like lots of people are making lots of money and spending it on really good things, so let's all try to make money. Let's help each other make money. Let's encourage each other to make money, and let's encourage each other to be thoughtful and try to do good, right? Okay, so yeah, let's all make money. Like, let's be capitalists in a good way, you know. Once we create enough science and technology, it'll allow such radical changes in our capabilities and potential that other types of economic systems will become much more feasible and viable. So for now, let's embrace capitalism. That's what I say. I guess, yeah, I'm giving my opinions and views. Um, it's my right to do so. And maybe they might be novel. Maybe they might help you. Maybe you might hate them. But I'm gonna do it. Um, so moving along. Uh, I finished talking to that woman. Um, I told her about right. So this is the connection, right? So everything that I just told you about, like how I really want to like help adjust sort of like social imbalances. Um, and I'm really passionate about that, and I think about ways to do it. So I told her like about these sorts of things, like my ideas, right? I told her about my ideas and my passions, as well as my experiences. So she seemed very impressed. She said she loves the way I think, and she can't wait to meet me. And she also said that the way that she works is not really by creating positions or roles. What she does is she just hires people, like, based on, I guess, like, their skills, um their potential, who they are. And it's about building a team, is what she said. It's about building a team. So that actually sounded really good to me. Right now, the way I'm making money is by driving part-time for Uber. um I can keep doing that, honestly, and work on starting my company and studying data science. That's a great option. But I am definitely open to looking into this opportunity for sure. Definitely having an interview and learning more about it. Um, it could be a fantastic opportunity. So, look, I'm always, but anyway, yeah, so for sure. That was a fantastic phone conversation. Um, I'll follow up with her tomorrow. Um, so whoa, so that was crazy, and like, I think it was maybe like after that phone conversation that I was like, okay, like I gotta start doing my video log. Um, and so then I was going to drive for Uber, and my friend that I met on Tuesday at a neuro hack meetup, only me and him showed up. 8 people said they were going, only me and him showed up. And we have an uncanny amount in common. And I have a lot to say on that, more to say on that topic, about specifically the diff the I guess I'll just say, like, the pros and cons of oh the type of relationship between two people that are very, very similar. Like, I have, I'll say more about that next time if I remember. Um, but so um, he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna be in the city today. Do you want to hang out?" I was like, "I gotta drive for Uber. If I get 35 rides, I get this bonus, and I'm only like 9 rides away. I don't know what time I'll finish. I'll text you when I'm done." So I drove for Uber, and it was like pretty late when I was done. So I called him up, and like we decided that since we're gonna lift together tomorrow, we'll just hang out tomorrow. And so, highlights from my Uber driving today. And this is going to be literally the last thing I'm going to talk about, and then that's going to be the end of this very long, I'm sorry it was so long, video log today. Okay, highlights from my Uber ride today. Both of them were businessmen visiting San Francisco. The first one uh, was a his I saw his name on the app as Tetsuhiro, so I knew he was Japanese, and I was super excited because I get a chance to speak in Japanese with a Japanese person, which I love doing, and I want to do like a lot more than I've been doing recently. And I love Japanese people. I love talking and meeting with Japanese people, and like it's a chance for me to like be another self because I have many selves. One of my selves is like my Japanese self because when I'm speaking Japanese to a Japanese person, I'm literally a different person. I have different characteristics, I have different attitudes, I have a different personality, um, and also different sorts of sounds coming out of my mouth because I'm speaking in Japanese rather than English. So really excited. So I got in the car. So I immediately started talking to him in Japanese, and he didn't seem surprised, and he didn't ask me, but I just volunteered the information because I was just so enthusiastic to see him. I just told him all about how I was just living in Niigata, Japan. I was an English teacher, and like, um, you know, just asking, and just like started asking him questions about himself. And he's a Japanese engineer from Sony. He works on TVs, so he like helps, I guess, like design like LCD TVs and stuff. And he's just in Japan, San Francisco for a few days. Um, and I just dropped him off at his hotel. Then I picked up this white guy dressed in like really nice like business style suit. And he was a he lives in New York, and he lives in Long Island. He works in New York, and he is a energy stock trader. And he was meeting with some partners and some clients in San Francisco. He was only in the city for one day, and I drove him all the way to the airport. So we had a long ride. We had a 27-minute ride, and like I was so glad that I picked this guy up because he was so talkative. Like I barely could even get in any words edgewise, but like that was so great because I rarely get Uber riders like that, and usually there's no conversation unless I'm the sort of a causative force. Um, and he actually had like really interesting things to say, like about how he was trying to get all of these weed gummies that he put in a adult vitamin gummy jar onto the plane, um, back to New York, and how he was worried about how there was a chance that he might get arrested. So he was talking about that, and he was talking about how he like went to this strip club, and that one that he had been to before, he said, and had gotten like a really good blowjob. Um, and how this time when he went, he had like 13 beers and like a bunch of weed edibles. And this like fat girl came over, and she asked him, what, and he was like, oh, like, let me go across the street and get money. So then he just like left. So like, and then he told me about how he had witnessed the death of his like close friend that he knew since like first grade or something, like from cancer. And so then he started talking about Christianity and how he thinks like the idea of God is bullshit, and he's like talking all about that. um and I'm kind of just like encouraging his conversation and like asking him questions when I get a chance. And like eventually I get a chance to tell him more about me. And yeah, so that was really cool. So that was those are my highlights for the Uber ride today. And with that, I'm going to end my first video log. Bye.